A man who loves you deeply keeps his distance because of one single trait. Why does a man pull back precisely when his feelings are most intense? Why does he withdraw emotionally as a connection deepens, especially with the woman he truly loves? You won't want to miss the final insight, or 99% will remain stuck in this dynamic for life. Deep truths. Most women believe that when a man pulls away, he's not ready, fears commitment, or lacks maturity. But this is a superficial understanding of a far more profound psychological reality. A man who deeply loves you doesn't withdraw because he's heartless. He retreats because you've awakened something he has suppressed his entire life. This triggers a psychological response, described as the most dangerous moment in a man's inner world. Every relationship tactic you've learned, from giving space to playing hard to get, misses the core issue. No one explains what truly happens in his subconscious when he encounters a woman who touches him at the deepest level. Your emotional honesty can unsettle him, not because it's too much, but because what you perceive as a weakness is actually your greatest psychological power. Mirror unconscious. This single quality, often seen as a woman's greatest strength, is something men unconsciously fear. Not because it's harmful, but because its sheer power forces a man to confront himself, a confrontation most men are utterly unprepared for. When you embody emotional wholeness, you become a living mirror reflecting back everything he has failed to integrate within himself. His lack of wholeness becomes unbearable in your presence, and that's why he keeps his distance, not because you're overwhelming, but because you are complete. This realization can be painful, as it dismantles the illusion that you did something wrong. Your very presence creates change by forcing him to face the parts of himself he has long ignored. His calm confidence, emotional clarity, and grounded nature highlight his own overlooked aspects. Distance becomes his shield, silence his defense, not from harm, but from self-exposure. Trying to chase, explain, or shrink yourself only intensifies confusion and drains your strength. Understanding this truth returns your power, allowing you to see his withdrawal not as a rejection of you, but as a response to growth, depth, and love that demands maturity. You stop begging for connection and start choosing alignment with men ready to stand in your light without needing to flee. This awareness replaces confusion with peace and self-doubt with unwavering self-trust. Inner masculinity. Every man possesses an inner feminine element, what is termed the anima. It holds his emotions, sensitivity, desire for deep connection, and the capacity to feel rather than solely analyze. From childhood, societal messages often force boys to disconnect from these aspects, pushing them into the unconscious. These repressed parts are then projected onto women, particularly those he loves. Most women only lightly touch his outer mask with their own, maintaining surface-level interactions. But when a man encounters a woman who is genuinely whole, his anima fully awakens. He sees everything he's denied in himself, the buried softness, the hunger for depth, the vulnerability. You become a living mirror to the parts of his soul he's afraid to face, igniting a profound fear. This isn't a fear of commitment or intimacy with you, but a fear of his own inner world that your presence illuminates. He is not running from you, but from himself. This confrontation threatens the identity he's built, revealing that he is also emotion and vulnerability. For a man conditioned to equate strength with emotional suppression, this realization feels like the ground giving way. He retreats not because his love is weak, but because its intensity, combined with the awakening of his anima, makes his inner emptiness starkly visible. Distance becomes his escape mechanism. Behavioral signs. When his anima is activated, certain behaviors emerge, confirming you are the catalyst, not the cause. The first sign is a cycle of idealization followed by withdrawal. He may express that you're unique and understand him deeply, only to become distant and emotionally unavailable soon after. This isn't manipulation, it's a psychological defense. He's projecting the unlived parts of his inner world onto you, and your wholeness makes his incompleteness painfully obvious. If he pulls away but returns repeatedly, He unconsciously desires anima integration but lacks the knowledge to navigate it. The second sign is emotional overload. Phrases like, "You awaken so much inside me," signal that you're activating his shadow, the parts he deems unacceptable, including vulnerability and tenderness. When he feels out of control, it's because his usual defenses are collapsing due to your authentic depth. Trying to soothe him by offering more comfort can backfire, confirming his fear of weakness and prompting further withdrawal. The third sign is a pattern of closeness followed by retreat into superficiality. He tests whether you'll accept only his surface self or hold space for his wholeness. Demanding he return to depth, asking why he's distant, or trying to fix him reinforces his fear that his emotional presence is necessary for your stability. The authentic response is to remain whole, respecting his retreat without diminishing your own depth. This isn't neediness, it's being a mirror. He'll be drawn back to your depth when he's ready, not because you chased him, but because his psyche requires integration. Wise choices. Not every man whose anima you awaken is ready for the transformation. The dangerous trap is believing that patience alone will bring change. Individuation cannot be forced, it must be chosen. You can hold the mirror, but you cannot walk the path for him. Some men will remain fragmented rather than face the fear of true wholeness. They'll cycle through closeness and withdrawal, not because they don't love you, but because loving you would require loving themselves, something they're not yet capable of. To discern readiness, observe his movement versus stagnation. Is there progress, even if slow? Or does he repeat the same patterns? Self-reflection versus projection is key. Does he own his behavior, or does he blame you for his inner conflict? Does he seek his own answers, or does he expect you to do his emotional work? Your wholeness is not negotiable. You are not here to sacrifice your soul for his avoidance. The greatest tragedy is abandoning wholeness for the illusion of connection. Men who are ready for individuation are drawn to clarity and wholeness. Men who are not are repelled. Live your life, continue your individuation, and stay connected to your depth. If he is the right man, his own inner world will draw him back. If not, he has given you the gift of freedom to find a man who is ready for the alchemical marriage of two whole individuals. This shifted my entire perspective on relationships. Thank you.